Breaking news out of WWE tonight, as there have been multiple releases from the company, as well as a very big name departing. We are going to talk about who those people are, what we know about their departures, who was released, who was departing, and what the hell is going on, as well as reactions from the people involved. We're going to get into all of that. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. So WWE has made, it looks like, another round of cuts tonight. And as reported by FightfulSelect.com, we do have information about who those cuts are, as well as a major departure. So here is the Fightful Select report that is linked in the description as well. Tegan, Baron Corbin, Indi, Hartwell are leaving WWE. Fightful Select has confirmed. Baron Corbin was informed of that his contract would not be extended. Indi, Hartwell, and Tegan were released and will be free agents in 90 days. So there we have it. Tegan, Indi, Hartwell released by WWE. They will be free agents in 90 days. Meanwhile, Baron Corbin, who was at one point a staple on the WWE main roster, made several appearances in NXT both before and after his debut on the main roster at WrestleMania 32 in 2016. Now it looks like he will be a free agent. For that specific scenario, let's talk about Baron Corbin, because he's obviously someone who has spent a lot of time on not only in WWE in that system, but on the main roster as well. And when you have someone like a Baron Corbin leaving the company, it's a pretty big, I'm not going to say a pretty big void, but it is a pretty big and noteworthy departure, because there were years on Monday Night Raw where you could not watch Monday Night Raw without seeing Baron Corbin, without watching Baron Corbin. That's how important he was to that show and how prominent of a character that he was on that show. So to see him depart the company is, a pretty monumental move. And it goes to show you, right? No matter how much time WWE has invested in you, you're not safe unless you're really a top guy. We now actually have also heard from Baron Corbin as well on Twitter. Let's take a look at what he had to say on Twitter. That's all she wrote, folks. It's been real, and I appreciate everyone who supported me. That is Baron Corbin reacting to his release. Obviously, again, at one point, he was very prominent on the main roster in WWE. He retired Kurt Angle, for God's sakes. It is crazy. And we will obviously talk about Tegan and Indi Hartwell in just a second. But just to talk about Baron Corbin, it's so interesting to me, the level of capital they put into Baron Corbin in 2018 or 2017 into 2019, because he really was someone that they saw a future in. He was someone that they believed was going to be a major star. And at one point, I thought Baron Corbin had the potential to be a main event heel. His in-ring work never got to the point where you thought he was going to be a spectacular worker. However, he has a body, he can work in the ring, and he's also someone who, in a way, found a character. It wasn't the most charismatic guy, but it fit what he was trying to do, and he was able to get heat. Now, obviously, over the last few years that he was the Raw GM or Constable Corbin, whatever we want to talk about, it garnered the wrong type of heat. It went to a place where Baron Corbin was already getting a whole bunch of heat as the GM, or as the character Baron Corbin. He was already a very hated heel. But then when he became the Constable and he became the authority figure, it was kind of like, okay, he's going to do a bad thing. He's going to do another bad thing. He's going to continue to do horrible things that no one really is stopping. And he never got his comeuppings. That was the thing. And, obviously 2019 was a bad year creatively for WWE. And there was that now historic segment where Shane, Vince, Stephanie, and I believe Hunter came out. And they all said, no more authority figures on WWE because that's the problem. And they tried to pass off basically Baron Corbin being the problem with the WWE product at the time and not indeed the people like Vince who were booking the show. Whole separate thing, but he was a bit of a scapegoat in that regard. And I think like basically since then, he has not like done too much in, excuse me, in the title picture in WWE outside of winning the NXT title at one point. He has been in some, big time programs. He obviously was the NXT champion when he went back down there. And I thought that actually did wonders for kind of reinvigorating and making people care about again, Baron Corbin. He also had a pretty high profile feud, I believe, against Logan Paul going into SummerSlam a couple of years ago. So again, he's someone you can trust. He's someone who can work and make people look good in the ring. And at the end of the day, I believe that's why he will find a lot of work on the indies, whether it be a TNA or MLW. I think he will get a lot of looks. GCW potentially. Josh Barnett, come call in. Hell, AEW. Call him. I don't know if anyone's got. But I do see I could see him pop up in like TNA or MLW. Those are probably my big picks there. As to the WWE releases, as of right now, it seems like these are the only two: Tegan Nox and Indi Hartwell. Indi Hartwell, someone obviously who has been a very important character, especially on NXT over the last couple of years, with Index and the stuff they were doing with Johnny Gargano, Dexter Lumis, and company. I always thought that Indi Hartwell in those specific scenarios and those specific storylines showed a lot of charisma and something that, it was a charming effect on the NXT programming, and one of the few excuse me, big bright spots for NXT during that time. It unfortunately never worked out in the main roster. I don't think the creative was there, honestly, behind her, and it just seemed like whatever she was doing, it was kind of just, all right, we're doing this one week, your background character, and hey, there wasn't really any depth to her character when she got on the main roster, which is completely the opposite case of what it was when she was in NXT. And it's unfortunate. She, as well as Tegan Nox, who actually returned to the company, Tegan did a couple of years ago, I believe, after being released by WWE. So this is the second time that, unfortunately, that she has been released by WWE. Again, with Tegan, it's been a bit of the same. We just haven't seen her have an established character on TV beyond she's Tegan Nox, and it's unfortunate. I think at a time where, not only do you have a major injury in your women's division if you're WWE to Rhea Ripley, that is, going to change up your plans for the next couple of months, but you also have a women's division on Raw that is a bit depleted, and, obviously good booking prevails and all that, but I do think that you probably needed a more talent like Tegan Nox and Indi Hartwell on that show to help bolster it, especially going into the Netflix era, if not anything but for depth. But obviously, end of the year coming up, maybe this was them trying to make those Q4 numbers look better. I don't know what it is. Probably not even going to affect Q4 now that I think about it, because they're on 90-day releases, so they're going to be paid for 90 days. But it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. We'll see what ends up happening, though. I did want to get this breaking news in. I will be posting another video about some other news that broke today, so be sure to go check that out whenever it posts later tonight. Guys, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I want to hear from you guys. What's your reaction to these releases, as well as Baron Corbin's departure from WWE? Let me know in the comments. Also, be sure to smash that thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released.